Once upon a time, during a warm summer, the sun shone brightly over a lush green meadow. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming flowers, and the gentle hum of bees could be heard as they flitted from blossom to blossom. It was a perfect day, the kind that made you want to sing and dance with joy. In this idyllic setting, a carefree grasshopper was singing and dancing. His chirps were melodious and his movements were graceful, as if he were performing for an invisible audience. The grasshopper felt on top of the world, reveling in the beauty of the day and the freedom it brought. Nearby, an ant was hard at work, diligently gathering food for the winter. The ant moved with purpose, carrying tiny grains and seeds back to his nest. He knew that the warm days of summer would not last forever, and he was determined to be prepared for the harsh winter months ahead. The ant's tiny legs moved quickly, and his brow was furrowed with concentration. He worked tirelessly, knowing that every bit of food he collected would be crucial for his survival when the cold weather arrived. The grasshopper, noticing the ant's hard work, hopped over and asked, "Why are you working so hard, little ant? The sun is shining and the day is beautiful. Come join me and enjoy the sunshine." The grasshopper's invitation was filled with enthusiasm, and he hoped the ant would take a break and have some fun. But the ant shook his head and replied, "I can't. I'm collecting food for the winter. You should prepare too. The cold days will be here before you know it." The ant's voice was earnest, and his eyes were filled with concern for the grasshopper. He knew that the carefree insect would struggle when the seasons changed. However, the grasshopper shrugged off the ant's advice with a carefree laugh. "Winter is far away. There's plenty of time to worry about that later," he said, dismissing the ant's warnings. The grasshopper continued to enjoy the warm days, singing and dancing without a care in the world. He felt invincible, believing that the good times would never end. As the days passed, summer turned to fall. The once vibrant meadow began to change, with leaves turning golden and the air growing cooler. The grasshopper noticed the changes, but still did not heed the ant's advice. And soon, winter arrived. The once lush and green meadow was now covered in a thick blanket of snow. The flowers had withered, and the bees were nowhere to be seen. The world had transformed into a cold, white landscape. The grasshopper, now cold and hungry, wandered through the snow searching for food. His once joyful chirps were now replaced with desperate cries for help. The grasshopper shivered as the icy wind cut through his thin exoskeleton. He regretted not listening to the ant and felt a deep sense of remorse for his carefree attitude during the summer. He wandered aimlessly, his stomach growling with hunger. The once abundant meadow was now barren, and there was no food to be found. The grasshopper's heart sank as he realized the gravity of his situation. He realized he had not prepared at all. His mind raced with thoughts of what he could have done differently. Finally, he came across the ant's cozy home. The warm glow from the windows was a stark contrast to the cold, dark world outside. The grasshopper felt a glimmer of hope as he approached the door. He knocked on the door, his heart pounding with anticipation. "Please, kind ant, I'm starving. Can you help me?" The grasshopper's voice was filled with desperation, and his eyes were wide with fear. The ant opened the door and looked at the grasshopper with a mixture of pity and sternness. "You laughed at my hard work during summer," the ant said, his voice firm. "Now you must face the consequences of your choices." The grasshopper hung his head in shame, realizing the truth in the ant's words. He had been foolish and short-sighted, and now he was paying the price. The grasshopper realized that he should have listened to the ant. He thought about all the times he had ignored the ant's advice and how different things could have been if he had only prepared. He learned that preparation is essential for survival. The grasshopper understood that hard work and planning were necessary to ensure a secure future. The ant, seeing the grasshopper's genuine remorse, decided to help him. He invited the grasshopper inside and shared his food, teaching him the importance of being prepared. And so the moral of this story is clear: it's wise to prepare for the future. The grasshopper learned a valuable lesson that day, one that he would never forget. It's wise to prepare for the future. Thank you for watching. Remember, hard work and preparation pay off in the long run. The story of the grasshopper and the ant is a timeless reminder of this important lesson. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories. We hope you enjoyed this tale and learned something valuable from it. Until next time, keep working hard and always be prepared.